NFL fans, welcome back to the J All Day Show. In today's episode, we're going to talk some daily fantasy, guys. It's kickoff week. The NFL is finally back. I'm super excited about this season. So, in today's episode, I want to build a Millionaire Maker lineup with you guys. Draft Kings is putting on those $1 million contests. You got to get involved, man. You got to roll the dice. Even they have $5 ones, man. Just do it. I'm going to go through and build a lineup for you guys from scratch, right? I'm going to show you my process and how I build these lineups, right? I always like to start with the defense, right? And I think a lot of people are going to go with the chalk with the Bengals, man. I really, really do. But I think the Saints and the Vikings are both in play, right? And I think the Saints are going to be a little contrarian, $3,700 going up against an offense that's not very good. Bryce Young can definitely throw some picks, definitely get strip sacked, scoop and score. I think the Saints are definitely in play at home in week one, right? All right, next, I want to figure out, do we want to do a stack? Do we kind of want to build this lineup without a stack? We got to make that decision. I don't really like paying up for quarterbacks, right? And you always want to try to 5x your money. That's how you win these lineups, right? You're getting around, we're at like 5,800 per slot left, and you got a 5x. You got to get between 25 and 30 points in order for them to be put in your lineup, right? So you go through these quarterbacks. Baker Mayfield's really interesting to me at $5,600. A 5x, is pretty, I think it's doable for him. Geno Smith is interesting for me as well because he doesn't run as much as people think he does, but he's got some 30 baggers, some plus 25-point games in his arsenal a little bit, right? So if this guy can't get you 25 points, Russell Wilson, let's see what he did last year. Did he get 25 points ever last year? No. So he got 30 points once. So, in my opinion, you can't play a guy like Russell Wilson. He can't get you 25 or 30 points, man. So I need a guy who can give me 25 or 30 points in this particular lineup, right? So we're scrolling through. Who is a potential guy? These 8,000, a 5x, 40 points, man, he's really got to ball out. Really got to ball out. A guy I think I'm going to pair up in this lineup is Anthony Richardson at home. I think they're going to be playing from behind, so he's going to have to pass a lot, right? He averaged 18 fantasy points per game last year in limited time, and he had a 30-bagger early in the season. So let's find him a wide receiver to pair up with, right? We want to do a little bit of a stack, so let's go to Indy. Who do we pair him with? Do we go with Michael Pittman? Do we go Adonai Mitchell? Adonai Mitchell at $3,800 seems like a very, very interesting play. Is he going to start? Josh Downs is questionable. If Josh Downs doesn't play in this game, Adonai Mitchell is definitely in play. He's got one game with 25-plus points, but Michael Pittman Jr. seems to be the guy who's going to be getting the bulk of these passes. 30-point, 23-point, 22-point, 23-point. He had 23 points opening weekend. He's a little rich at $6,800. So you know what? I'm thinking about rolling with Anthony Richardson just solo, man. I'm not going to do a stack in this particular lineup. I'm out on the stack. It just doesn't make sense to me mathematically. But I do like Adonai Mitchell, though, man. So I'll have to see if he's going to get some playing time or not. I got to do a little bit more research on that. But he's a guy that I really, really like. Okay, now let's move on to the running back position, right? Another guy we got to get 5x. I love Kenneth Walker, right? He can get us 30 points, I think, in this game for sure. 20-point game there. He's going to be 30-point game. He's got 30 points in him, right? Denver, not great against the run last year. If we hit the X button, we can see opponent ranked versus running backs. 31st, right? Not very good. I like Kenneth Walker. Now, do I want to pay up for a guy like Bijan Robinson? I do think Kirk Cousins is going to be dropping the ball off to him a lot in this game. Or do we go with one of the Washington running backs? I think that's a very interesting strategy, too. I do like DeAndre Swift, too, for $6,000. I think he's going to get a huge role in this offense. I think he's going to catch a bunch of passes, run the ball in between the tackles, outside the tackles. He's a very interesting play for me. They paid him a lot of money, right? So DeAndre Swift at 6K seems like could be up there for us. I do like Williams from the Broncos as well, guys. He got some 20-point games in him, for 5,500. I think I'm going to go with Javonte Williams. I think he could be involved in the passing game as well, especially with Bo Nix dumping it off to Williams with that Seattle defense that's pretty good. And let's hope that a lot of people chalked Seattle, and then this guy can tear it up for us, man. All right, let's move on to the tight end position. This is the guy I've been circling all week long. I think he's going to be a huge contributor on this team. You got to pay out for him a little bit at $5,500, but I love Evan Ingram. I think he is the guy at the tight end position. If you want to go a little bit cheaper at the tight end position, a guy like Kyle Pitts is in play for me. Brock Bowers is in play for me. You know what? I'm rolling the dice. I'm going Brock Bowers, baby. All right, let's move to the wide receiver position. See who is in that $6,000 range. I do like DJ Moore, man. I really, really like DJ Moore. But I think Malik Neighbors is going to get 12, 13 targets. I love Malik Neighbors at $5,900. So we've got to get these guys to 5X for us, right? Of these guys, Deontay Johnson is really interesting as too. I think he's going to be the main guy in this offense, but I also like the other guy in this offense who had some big games last year, guys. Adam Thielen. I mean, if you look, 20, 34, 30, 30. This dude for $5,200 is an absolute steal. So now we have $6,400 between two positions. We need one more wide receiver and a flex. Do we go like chalk, like Tyreek Hill? That only leaves us $4,100. I don't love that. But Mike Evans against Washington secondary, that seems really interesting to me. I'm going Mike Evans to ball out for us. And then we got some juice, $5,500 for our flex. That gives us the opportunity. We could go for who's going to be the lead back for the Cleveland Browns. He's got a 26-point game against the Jets, a really good defense. No Nick Chubb, you know what I mean? He's going to be the guy. Jerome Ford for me, but the Cowboys defense is pretty good, so we've got to take that into consideration when we are drafting a guy. But a guy who's going to get so many carries at $5,500, or do we go Evan Ingram, another guy who's going to be in play? That's the play. I'm going to roll the dice, go two tight ends in this game, guys. We're going to go Anthony Richardson at quarterback, Walker III, and Williams at the running back positions. I think both these guys could have big games. I love my wide receivers. Neighbors, Thielen, Mike Evans, and you could, even if you wanted to, kind of go down in that $6,000 range at wide receiver, if you want to pay up and get some more money for the flex and get some more even guys. So if you were, to go down 7,300, some guys in this range, Michael Pittman Jr., Amari Cooper, DK Metcalf. Another guy I like in this game is Tyler Lockett. I really like Lockett as a potential, because they have a really good number one corner in Pat Surtain. So Tyler Lockett could be that dude in this game. He could be that dude. So that's someone to, consider in your lineups, guys. But I love this lineup. Thielen, Evans, Bowers, Ingram, Saints defense. I think we can pretty much 5X, 4X with a lot of these guys. Maybe, you could switch up Mike Evans and, don't go with Brock Bowers. But I think not a lot of people are going to be on Brock Bowers, and I think he could have a potential big game, dude. He's a great yak guy, catching the ball, making people miss. He's a very interesting player. I love this lineup, guys. Let me know in the comments below. Would you do anything different? Are there some players that I'm missing that are on your radar that could be steals in that $5,000 range? I would love to hear it in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Peace.